I've always usually.
I clicked this thing on, so it'll just be going.
You like to tea?
Some coffee if you have it. If not, tea will do.
You know Laurel, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she's kind of the only one I know over there at Warner Brothers, but she's nicer than most of the people in the record business.
Most of the people carry it. Especially proper, pretty hard people. You know?
Very weird people.
Oh, man.
Very strange. I haven't been into it that long.
What, this movement and all this?
The movement, yes, not the record movement, no.
Oh,
Or record business.
I think actually what this movement is a bellman. Oh, shit.
Well, all of the movement or music or what?
Well,
probably everything.
Music, the whole thing. Music's the whole thing. Anyway, because that's, I guess music is just a form of some kind of tricky breathing. Right?
I guess so. I think this interview is going to be a little strange because I never heard your music before about a week ago.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Then you probably heard about it than anybody else. Nobody
well, no, actually.
indoctrinated you and put you through
okay, no one indoctrinated me. But let me explain. I got your Steak is Milk album. It was re-released. And the girl at Buddha gave it to me.
The girl at Buddha?
Sue Clark.
Oh, she's a nice girl, isn't she? I call over there once in a while to tease Krasnow.
What's that?
I call once in a while to tease Krasnow. Oh, not Sue Clark. I'm thinking of Blue Thumb. Buddha, yeah, I met her at
well, they did this, right? Or at least they distributed it, or whatever the thing is.
Oh, famous.
That's your record, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen this record. I couldn't play it about 6 years ago. But I haven't seen this new...
Well, it was just re-released 3 months ago or so.
Oh, they put a lovely little seller on the top. Steak is Milk album, which is one of the forgotten classics of rock and roll. Like a winter Rolling Stone.
That was only 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Have you done other records, or the Warner Brothers one is the first one?
I've done the Safest Milk album first, then Strictly Personal on Blue Thumb, then Trout Mask Replica on Straight,
right,
and then Look Like the Callous Off Baby,
also on Straight.
No on Reprise.
Well, they say I hadn't heard your music. I saw you at Theater Inn.
I saw you there too. I remember your face. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
I was there
You look like
last
you really
night.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was. I was kind of surprised because I didn't know what to expect. I hadn't read what Kirby wrote, but I was. The only introduction I got was from Laurel. She said, you should go down there, and it's a weird time.
Yeah.
I absolutely didn't understand Lick My Decals Off, Baby.
Well, before I try to explain that, which is really difficult, but I'll try. Let's go back to me being there. It's really weird, man, being at that place, the Shrine, where Kirby wrote that interview.
Yeah.
Right? I don't understand how he got what he wrote down. It's really odd. I was on Grant, our manager, gives us cigarettes for a cigarette break on the stage.
Yeah.
Out of a silver cigarette case.
Right.
Balkan Sobranis. You ever had one of those?
No.
It's a Yinji tobacco. But he said they were joints.
Uh-huh.
You know, which I don't know where he got that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't smoke marijuana.
Uh-huh.
I don't even drink. So nobody ever does actually. So I don't know. You know, it was really odd. You know, then he said we were compared us to Mother than Ninja, which I can't see the comparison at all.
Well, I could see the comparison in that I don't understand a lot of what they do, too. You know,
Yeah,
if that's a comparison, two things that you don't understand.
I don't understand a lot of things they do. I can't understand anybody going back into the past like that and bringing back a retired music.
Oh, so, you know, I listened to this last night, and I was thinking, well, gee, that was a lot of stuff out of the past, but then it was done 6 years ago.
Yeah. That was the first album in popular music that the theremin was employed. You know, that electronic instrument there, electricity, and Autumn's Child.
That's
Sounds like a
the
contralto on Autumn's Child.
yeah,
Humming,
it's
sort of soft.
yeah. And you know,
Z's toilet paper sound, I guess. Sounds like honey on Z's toilet paper colors.
I haven't. Is it an ad or something?
No. You mean the toilet paper?
Yeah.
Z's? Yeah, they have all of these lovely pinks and fuchsias and blues. And I thought the theremin would be funny in there as a sort of putting like the honey on that type of texture and color.
Oh, okay. I understand.
I don't like you. I have a hunch that people talk to themselves, you say.
I'm sure. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to explain that this whole thing is probably going to be a lot of you talking to yourself, because I'm not. Yeah, I haven't been into your music.
Yeah. Well,
So,
you know, like you have if you've heard it.
Well,
Because you heard
okay.
it all. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, there's no way you can shut out sound.
The other night, you know, as far as
Interpreting it is another thing, but you're not supposed to interpret it anyway.
okay.
How can you enjoy something you have to interpret?
Okay.
Right?
Yes and no. Something like Dylan, I enjoy interpreting.
Hmm. Well, he wants people to interpret it. Make it feel more important.
You don't want people to interpret
I
what you say.
feel good anyway.
I take it the whole the show that goes on.
On the stage?
Yeah, when you perform is part of the music.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, how did that?
I didn't know there was a show that went on, but you're informing me of something I didn't know.
Well, you know, stopping in and not knowing what I was expecting to see, and seeing you there in the hat, and
you mean the badminton birdie on
with
top?
with the shuttlecock on top, and walking off with another hat on top of it, and
well, I got so enthralled that I didn't even know. I had no other hands for the hat. So I just
and then
yeah,
I guess you're playing electrified clarinet,
soprano saxophone.
Soprano saxophone,
Yeah.
and you sort of wander off and read a book at points.
Oh yeah, I have a little book that I really enjoy.
Is it some special book, or is it?
I'll show it to you. That coffee will be ready in 1 second.
Okay.
Where's my little book?
The rest of the band doesn't live here. So
No.
Laurel said you used to have a house or something where it was a group kind of thing.
I used to have a house that over on Ensenada Drive where seven of the group.
Yeah.
And I got married, and I decided that I would live alone and try to find a little book.
an old book.
Yeah, it's very old. I had it when I was about 2. And I just enjoy some of the poems on it.
Oh, I see, but you have some of your songs in here,
I have
too.
some of my songs in there.
So, in a way, you've got...
I tend to forget lyrics, words, because I enjoy music more.
Anyway, you happen to pick the 5 Little Pussycats, or just,
Yeah, and then there's North Wind and the Robin is in there as well. I think that's really funny. But yeah.
The planting of the flag, the whole thing.
Yeah, it was sad and very bland color.
I'm just, a little overwhelmed. Not having gotten into it, as I say.
I don't really read it. I just like to have it.
Well, the times I get Playboy, I sort of insist that someone in Women's Lib buy it for me. Anytime I've ever gotten Playboy, I've insisted that someone in Women's Liberation buy it for me to prove how liberated they are. Saves me $1. And
the Women's Liberation thing has a lot to do with that. I'm going to prepare this coffee.
Tell me about on the phone. They were throwing brassieres at you, you said?
My girls gave me brassieres.
Were they taking them off right there, or just they brought them with them?
Pardon me?
Were they taking them off right there, or they brought them with them?
Oh yeah, they took them off right there.
Now, if you're putting stuff in it, lots of milk and sugar and things.
Lots of milk and sugar?
Yeah.
I already knew that.
How did you know that? Okay.
I like Turkish coffee real well.
The only Arab coffee I had was in Morocco, and I had about a half-inch of oil floating on the top.
Oh, good Lord. That was Morocco right there. Coffee with oil on the top. You got the whole picture right there. You can usually get a pretty good rundown off of those cards they keep in the motels, too, as to what the agenda will be in the different areas you go to.
How's that?
Well, they usually display it right out front. They have a girl holding an orange, what do you call it, bolero or something.
Oh.
The little Easter grass in the background, and somebody washing a Cocker Spaniel, or one of those black and white old-fashioned dogs.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. I'd like to try and understand what you mean about the movement needing a bowel movement.
Well, I think that probably a lot of the trouble we're having is that people don't know that much about nutrition. Either that or they know too much.
About nutrition?
Yeah. Cooked foods are real bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat meat.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Well, I started not eating it because of the thought of it.
Well, of course.
The taste of it, I was sort of indifferent to.
Well, it's very hard to digest, my word.
Mm-hmm. Well, how does that people either not knowing too much or knowing too much relate to music or to women's liberation, knowing too much about nutrition?
Well, I think everybody nowadays knows. I think all the peaks are showing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that everybody knows that they shouldn't cook their food and use white sugar because of depletion of vitamin B and things like that. I'm sure there are a lot of books available on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but even whether more people are knowing that or not, there's still more of these franchise food things coming up all along where the street that I live on has 31 franchise things within a 2-mile area.
A lot of people don't care what they eat, but they know not to, I'm sure. I mean, like you can when you eat white sugar, it's just like 10 minutes of solid shaking apart. I mean, it's horrible. It's like gasoline.
Okay, how does that relate? That's something that's very important than nutrition.
I think the nutrition is probably one of the most important things, because if you eat bad, you're going to feel bad, and if you feel bad, you're going to do bad things. You're not going to do good things when you feel bad.
I see. Well, that relates to music, and just that feeling good is going to help you do better things.
Yeah, I think that most of the rock and roll and stuff like that is a product of guilt. Because people cop licks off of dead people. It's like stealing the pennies out of a dead man's eyes.
Like Creedence Clearwater kind of thing.
Well, I'm tired of these lullabies. You know what I mean? Like the Beatles and all the lullabies. Mm-hmm. You know, I heard Lullaby on Broadway when I was a baby, and I hear it now. I'm still a baby, but
who do you think is doing?
I think we are.
Significant things. You are?
Mm-hmm.
Are you the only group that is?
I would say so. I haven't heard anything else. I haven't heard anything that got away from Mama's heartbeat. All I've heard is a rebellion against parents. Mm-hmm. And I'm tired of hearing that.
Does this include all kinds of...
I don't listen to it, though.
Does this include all kinds of... Have you listened to Pink Floyd at all?
Oh, yeah.
Or Moody Blues, or things like those that are sort of considered experimental kind of groups?
Yeah, but I don't see it.
You don't think
I don't see that as a... I see that as the same old thing, the same old cake with a different icing.
Okay, how
but
is...
At least I could crack the ice, you know.
Uh-huh. How is yours then? Where does the difference come in your music?
I don't think there's any competition in our stuff.
You mean they can't be compared?
I don't see how. And I don't think there's any competition. I didn't do it to be compared. Uh-huh. Or impaired. I just did it or impaled, you know, with points and justification.
Uh-huh. Well, listening to you the other night, I wouldn't have thought to try and compare you to anyone.
Well, that's good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it, but you know, those are in a way separate things, because I can listen to you know, other people and not be able to compare them and not enjoy it. Just because it doesn't have a comparison to me doesn't mean that it's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to figure out what exactly it is that your music has that.
Let me grab a coat. Would you like a coat?
No, that's okay.
My heater's broken. I've never had a heater, actually. You see this phenomenon that a fellow gave me, a photographer, about 16 years old.
Banana shape.
Banana. It's really cute. This is a nice bit.
How do you find most people reacting to
Well, they seem to really enjoy it.
I would sort of assume that people that
to enjoy themselves.
I would assume that people that went to see you knew your music.
I don't know about that. I don't think any way you can know music. The minute you know it, I think that you stop playing, and the minute the person stops playing, I guess the music isn't playing anymore.
I see what you mean. So in a way, the music that you do is music that's almost hard to memorize, kind of thing. Is that what you mean?
I don't know whether it's any more hard to memorize than anything else, but I don't think that people should memorize things.
Well, I mean, for instance, the Beatles do a song, you know, I Want to Hold Your Hand, whatever. After hearing it twice, you know the song, in the sense that, you know their music. And you could sing, you might know most of the lyrics, but after hearing it 2 or 3 times.
I've never listened to the Beatles. Going by a radio here and there or something, I've heard fragments, but I've never really listened to them. So I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't care for lullabies. because I don't want to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I only sleep about 2 hours a night, and
You don't want your music to put you there.
when I do music, I'm playing, and when you're playing, you can't go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Too happy to go to sleep.
Right. How you write all your own music, most of your own music?
Yeah.
Do you do it completely by yourself, or do other people in the band?
Well, I do it on a piano, onto a tape,
Yeah.
and then Beefheart and Rollo gets it off the tape and distributes it to the members of the band.
Mm-hmm. I'm just paranoid about, especially if they're battery powered. Batteries are just fine for sending to the moon.
Would you like to plug it in?
Well, it seems to be going, so as long as it's going.
I have a Sony tape recorder, if you want to use that.
No.
What is this? What kind of
Panasonic.
Yeah.
The only indication that it might continue to go is that it is going.
Yeah, I know. I've got a few songs out there.
Yeah.
Because of that.
So you don't ever get together with the group to work on new material, start new material.
Well, I have been recently.
Mm-hmm.
But before they seem to want me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think they're opening up a lot more. They have a lot of their own ideas. They were caught by a lot of that conditioning and stuff like that, and they realized the only way to get through that conditioning was to just go ahead and let it come through.
Mm-hmm.
Not try to separate your old life from your new life.
Yeah. Did you get the group together?
Yeah.
When was that?
Well, I've had Beefheart and Rollo with me, the guitarist, the tall one,
Mm-hmm.
for about 3 years now. And Rocket Morton has been with me for about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And Drumbo has been with me for 4.5 years, the drummer.
Yeah.
Rocket Morton's the bass player. And Ed Marimba just came with me about 9 months ago. He was art tripping the mothers.
Right. Yeah.
He
Someone who told me that.
Mothers, so he is really enjoying himself now.
Mm-hmm.
He had 8.5 years of classical training at Manhattan School of Music.
Mm-hmm.
And then he played with John Cage for a while. You know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. And did a lot of avant-garde stuff, I guess.
For instance, do you think John Cage is doing anything? Or I don't know what he's done recently. I know he was doing.
Well, he does a lot of things. You know, I don't think I have to worry about him. He seems like a nice guy.
What do you mean, worry about?
I mean, I don't think he's trying to impair anybody's vision or anything, or make them wear the same prescription glasses as he does.
I see. Do you think that's a danger of what a lot of musicians try to do?
I think so, yeah. I think most people try to get other people to see through their eyes. And then I think if you look through enough eyes, like in books and things like that, you end up not knowing how to use yours.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Then you have to be started by something. It all has to do with the one. People can't realize that a one is really a zero split in half. That's like splitting the world in two. Choosing up sides.
Yeah, I was warned by Corb Donahue. I don't know if you know him.
No, I don't think so.
He's at a lecture. Apparently, he did a radio program with you a couple of years ago. And I was warned that you come out with lines where there's no response, because it's something I'm going to have to sit down and think about.
No, don't think about it.
Don't think about it.
Oh, well, that's up to you, but
yeah.
I think it's not important.
The thinking about it isn't. Okay,
I don't think so.
Let me ask you have you always felt this way or thought so? You must have had some kind of classic indoctrination in society.
I felt a lot of ways, but for the main, well, I can't say that. Words, it's hard to use the English language. I'd rather play a tune on the horn, but I've always felt that I didn't want to train myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you get a train, you've got to have an engine and a caboose.
Right,
See?
okay.
I think it's better to train the cabooses.
Okay. So,
when you train yourself, you strain yourself.
Okay. No, nevertheless, though, you had to learn how to play your saxophone. This is
No, I just picked it up, and I've only played it around. The last count, Drumbo, the drummer, was keeping score. Which is, he's not doing that as much anymore. But he told me that he thought I'd played it around 113 or 14 times. You see, because I don't rehearse.
Mm-hmm.
Never rehearse singing. Never rehearse the saxophone. Never rehearse the piano.
Do the rest of the band members rehearse? Or that's up to them?
They rehearse a lot, and it's up to them. And I would appreciate it if they would refrain
from rehearsing.
Yes, because I don't think that's a fair recommendation it's sort of saying that you didn't have it to begin with. And I feel that everybody has it.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's knows. I think everybody eventually does what they want to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think of a whole... our society is still into the structure of schools and...
I think that the schools are all right if the person that goes into the school gets to participate equally as much as the teacher.
Right.
But to sit there and be talked to, at that pace, and then hand in a piece of paper, I think that's odd. I think that it should be more of a play period than a school. It's too strict.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's too march-like, and again, it's lullaby-like.
Right, just because it's not spontaneous at all.
Right, and I think spontaneous things are true things.
Why do you think the society in general is so anti-spontaneity?
Because I think that they can't get past the idea of the switch. You see, some people think they can throw switches on into people. They switch them on when they want to hear them and switch them off when they don't want to hear them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You see? And you know as well as I do, if you turn off a switch, that you couldn't turn the light back on if the electricity still wasn't moving. See, electricity never stops. That's life, the spark of life. Mm-hmm. How can you turn life on and off? You see?
Right, yeah. Okay.
I noticed you're watching my cigarette. I know it's a bad habit, man, and I'm getting rid of it. I think I got it when I was a beatnik. I was never a beatnik, really. But I'm going to drop cigarettes soon.
Dropping them is probably better than smoking.
Yeah, just drop them all over the place.
You better watch out. They might just grow.
Yeah. Grow into smokestacks and robots. Whatever happened to the regular buck deer as opposed to the Sears and Roebuck?
Okay.
Where'd they go?
The buck deer.
The challenge elk.
Those used to be real animals. Is that what they were?
I thought so.
Yeah, probably.
Like there's 300 tigers left in the world now.
Yeah, and Zaza Gabor has a tiger skin coat.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah.
She must have a pussy problem.
Which means?
Well, I would say that she's intimidated by the fact that the cat is so natural and doesn't train itself.
Yeah.
I feel that people that wear cat skins and things like that have never really gotten away from mama. You say.
A lot of...
How many cats do you see wearing cat skins?
Well, all of them.
That's all you should say. No, they should people should leave other skins alone.
Okay, but even your shoes or whatever?
Well, they're black patent leather with a red suede inlay.
Very fashionable, but nonetheless skin, you know.
You see, probably the fact is that probably these shoes were. Well, I don't wear them on my ears or anything. I wear them on my feet.
It's a functional thing, then.
Well, sure. And they're comfortable. They're ballet's and they're real comfortable. Switzerland shoe. Good shoe. Plug.
But isn't a lot of what you're doing and what you're trying to do then almost the same kind of thing as the breaking away from mother that you're saying that everyone else is having trouble doing, or is it that you've successfully accomplished it?
I think I've accomplished it. My mother and I are friends.
Is that one of the? You think that's one of the main problems of just anyone is breaking away from mother?
I would certainly say so. I think so. Yes. I think most children go out. And I'm not saying all of them, but I think most of them go out and scream back at their house for their entire lives.
Yeah. So in a way, you think that that's what modern music is? Or that's what a lot of music is?
I think so. I can't see why people don't want to. What would I say? Not refine their minds, but do the opposite of that.
That's going to be unfine or define, maybe.
Well, I don't think people should refine things, you say, or refine things. I think that raw food is better for you than cooked food.
Well, let's see. That's going to leave us supine. That's only going to leave a few I-N-E words left of what people are going to have left to do.
You see, most of that shock value, isn't it? I mean, like cooked food, it's a shock value thing, isn't it? I mean, to address
You mean a shock to your system?
Well, I think so. Speed, I guess. I mean, like a carrot looks just fine, you know, when it's pulled out of the ground, screaming orange out of the dirt.
Yeah.
And like it looks fine like that, and if you eat it like that, I think it's a little more natural. If you're going to pull it out of the ground, I don't know why you have to pull it out of the ground, put it in a pot, and then put it out of the pot into your mouth.
Well, you know, just on I can see that with a carrot. Maybe I can't see it with potato.
Why?
Is that my limited vision?
Well, I don't know. A potato.
I just don't like raw potatoes.
Anyway, I don't think a potato has that much value, really. I think they're beautiful, especially in an old lady's window when they grow those little feelers.
Yeah. So certain things have different values, just in anything. Then, well, I guess that you'd have to assume that animals have more value, say, than a particular plant or in some kind of scale.
I suppose the ideal thing is to be a fruitarian, juicy fruits.
That's what. No, wait a minute. The macrobiotic people aren't even eating fruit, are they?
I don't think they are.
I don't think they eat fruit, but they're also against things such as any kind of drugs or the refined sugar.
Well, I don't see any necessity for drugs. But then again, when somebody carries it that far, then I suppose they sort of get into a syndrome where they have to use a drug to cure something that a drug caused. But it's all a drag.
What do you think of people that consider your music to be drug-oriented music?
Well, I think that they're probably emulating what they think.
I see, but your music itself isn't trying to put out anything, as far as.
I don't want to put out anything. You see, I don't want to put out anybody's fire.
Well, I didn't mean. In the same way, you're not trying to set anyone on fire.
No, I'm just.
Your music is this personalized statement of
Well,
I still don't.
Everybody's actually is. I don't think there's that much difference, really. I mean, I think that we try to play as much as we possibly can, as opposed to like getting somebody into structure,
Right.
you know, and then lullabying them to sleep. You see, most of that music, I think, is a reverse tranquilizer. I mean, like that heavy rock stuff is to like keep up with General Motors.
Okay.
Some of those people actually pass Oldsmobiles and Chevrolets, and you can imagine how that would hurt somebody's family. Eating an Oldsmobile and passing it out.
I missed that.
I pass out when I see an Oldsmobile. They're too sharp.
Oldsmobiles are too sharp.
Yeah.
But you're saying that some of this music beats out these cars.
Well, I
just
think
in there.
Probably the latest hit, you know, is probably another Oldsmobile. Something you can ride, you know, that fast on.
I see.
You say.
And it's just.
Nice upholstery.
So in a way, it's just it's trying. It's the people that the music is although it's no, still I'm not going to start smoking. It's the same kind of structure as the society is trying to keep everyone calm. The music is just doing the opposite, but it's the same thing, really.
You really think the society is trying to keep everybody calm? I took a shower this morning. Listen, I took a shower, and I got out of the shower, and I had to put a lot of moisture lotion on my body because the water had such a bad effect on me. I mean, I don't know what they're putting in the water. It's ridiculous, man. I felt like I took a bath in some kind of wet sandpaper substance.
Yeah, but even so, if you were to ask anyone who's responsible for putting that water there, they'll tell you that that's the healthiest stuff that ever came through your tap. You know,
but I don't use it. I just use it to bathe in, which I can't afford, you know, spring water to bathe in, or I would.
But
I drink spring water.
Yeah, it seems to me that society is trying to tranquilize people.
Well,
otherwise, why would they be upset at this opposite function? Why the police at rock concerts to make sure everyone stays in their seat, if it isn't a tranquilizing kind of thing?
Well, it's a shame, you know, that people don't care enough about themselves to control themselves. You know, like, I mean, keep themselves in line. You know what I mean? And I don't mean in line. I mean, it's a shame that people don't eat right and breathe right. Then there wouldn't be any need for police.
Okay. In a way, though, as far as their training is concerned, a young girl throwing a brassiere up on stage at you is very contrary to probably all the values that she's been taught. Now, does this just mean that for one part of for a fraction of time she's seen, you know, a certain type of spontaneity?
Well, I think she just wanted to give me something. I was giving her music. She wanted to give me something back.
So in a way, that's setting a value on your music, saying, you know, one song worth one brassiere, or
Philadelphia.
if you were better, you might have gotten coveralls or a entire dress.
I'm trying to name my song.
I wanted to get back into
Maiden Foreign Rock.
as it stands now, you wouldn't try and put any name on your music.
Well, I do name my tunes. Lick My Decals Off Baby and Space Age Couple.
How do you arrive at the names. And
how do I arrive at them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as far as Space Age Couple, the lyrics go, Space Age Couple, why don't you flex your magic muscle?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, why don't you enjoy your mind? What did you think?
Mm-hmm.
And then I did one called Woe is a Me Bop. Om, drop a rebop, om.
Yeah, I heard you do that.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I didn't understand it. Yeah, yes, I enjoyed. I
If you
enjoyed
didn't
seeing
understand it, what are you doing here? You enjoyed it.
it. Okay,
I
I'm
think you
trying
really
to.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I
saw
enjoyed
you
it, but I'm
enjoying it too. I saw you there.
Yeah,
I felt it.
I'm trying to.
We're both enjoying it.
In the understanding and enjoyment to me just seems separate.
No, you can't separate anything like that. I mean, you can. It's up to you. An animal can't because they don't have the ability to reason.
Yeah.
But you have the ability to reason, and if you think you can separate something like that, I think actually what you're doing is choosing up sides against yourself.
Okay.
But I don't think it's necessary. I really don't think you do that anyway, though.
Okay. When you say
as much as I do.
when you do a song Space Age Couple, Flex Your Magic Muscle, aren't you advocating something? Aren't you telling people something? And
well,
in that way, aren't you trying to
Not really,
influence
because
them?
I know nobody listens to anybody. I'm just having a good time.
I see. So
I suppose, actually, the reason I do those lyrics is because I'm a singer, and I think that the record companies and everybody think I was ridiculous if I didn't use the English language. You see, I usually, when I really get into it, it's hard to understand what I'm saying. Is that true?
That's true.
Because I'm just using sounds
Right.
that flow
So
from
in a way, it's a concession to the fact that you're a singer, so you've got to have some words.
Yeah, but then when I pick up my horn, I don't have to use words.
Right.
And I'm picking my horn up more and more lately.
Mm-hmm. Someone told me that you were going to be doing an album of blues songs.
Yeah, maybe aquamarines and cadmiums and things. I don't know.
Well,
there is a color blue.
Uh-huh.
I mean, in the mind.
Yeah.
The mind is full of gold. The mind is full of blues.
Now that sounds a little like a lullaby.
All the
that
colors of
line.
the rainbow.
And probably some others.
Sure, and we have every color in our mind that you see outside of the mind.
Okay. What these?
Look at our mind in the sky. Ooh, is that how we use our mind?
I mean,
That's
going to the moon or doing things like that, or
well, you know, like the moon. I've been living on the moon most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't you?
Well, I'd sort of rather not think I've been living on Earth.
Shine on Harvest Moon.
Who do you listen
Up
to?
in the sky. What do they mean, up in the sky?
What do you listen to? Music? Do you listen to any music? Do you have any records? Or
I'm listening to this fire right now. I'm listening to you. I'm listening to the birds outside. And I like a bird because a bird really blows. You know, like a bird doesn't stop so abrupt as a human. You know, when they whistle.
Well, there's not the.
You know, it seems to have a natural pickup.
Have you heard?
A bird is a natural pickup.
Have you heard?
A ranchero isn't.
Have you heard the Humpback Whale record?
Charlie Lloyd?
No. This is.
He did a song. I heard him up in San Francisco. Somebody threw a boot at him.
And Charlie Lloyd?
Imagine that. Charlie Lloyd, a beautiful player.
Someone did a recording of humpback whales, the animals, and they sing.
I heard that.
They sing.
Beautiful, man. Yeah. I think my horn sounds a lot like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a whale.
That's the kind of unstructured sound that you want to get then.
Well, I don't even think about structure. I just play and I really enjoy it, and I don't think about structure. If I did,
probably by not thinking about it, you're coming up without structure.
Well, I think there's probably they've already proven that Einstein, like it was already happening. All you have to do is look at the way the sun shines on a leaf and it's round. But they proved that light goes in a circle, right?
That light goes in a circle?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So, imagine as long as I'm light, I'm in a circle.
So in that sense, you're structured. I
think that everything is a circle.
Mm-hmm.
I think when people try to roll a square, they get a lot of bumps.
Okay.
Bumps and grinds. Pretty sexy. It's like a hold-off.
Now
what I mean? No reason why you can't come all the time.
Because of the whole circular thing.
Yeah, you come all the time. And if you don't come all the time, you're trying not to. And you're still coming, even if you're trying not to. I think there are different degrees of nutrition. Some things are burned better than others. For instance, an apricot is a good substitute for an egg, if you have to have a substitute.
Mm-hmm. I don't completely understand that.
Well, an apricot, like that.
Well, I can explain to you how I see it classically. I don't see a chicken sitting on an apricot. I don't see scrambled apricots for breakfast.
You have seen a chicken sitting on an apricot, though.
If I've seen a chicken sitting on an egg.
If you've seen a chicken, and you've seen an apricot, it's not that much different. It's all, it's like an apricot. It has feathers, and beaks, and eyes, and everything, right?
Okay. All right. That's what I'm recording over.
Like, for instance, I think the English language is the only language that has an I before C, or except after E. What is that?
I don't know. That's one of the ones I never, with a few exceptions.
What's before an
I? Okay, as far as that goes.
Before my eyes is a C, but the C I see is a C.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and I'm not that word oriented. I don't think. I can use them,
mm-hmm.
and I'm putting out a book called Old Fart at Play.
Old Fart at Play.
Yeah, as well as I'm putting out a book of poems called Singing Ink,
mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to use words like music.
Mm-hmm.
So that they don't take your mind anywhere that I want them to.
Let me ask you something else. As far as are there any people other than yourself that you consider to be an influence on the things you're doing?
Well, everyone actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody is influenced by everything. No doubt about that, is there?
No, that's
some people are more abrasive than others.
I'm trying to pin you down to something that...
Some people have stones in their stowaway, but they usually put them there themselves.
Mm-hmm. That's part of what you were saying before about people being mired down in the lullabies.
Well, I think so, because I really don't know. I think that... I don't know anything. It's just that for my own part, I'd rather play. I wouldn't want to make a sharp, slick statement.
Uh-huh. Don't you think it's rather odd that I'm interviewing you then, in the situation?
Well, of course I do, but we're enjoying it. Above the interview, we're enjoying it.
Yeah, okay.
It's nice, it's fun. A couple of smart apes enjoying looking at a plastic harmonica.
Uh-huh.
I would rather play a harmonica than look at the Encyclopedia Britannica. I'd rather eat a banana than play a harmonica. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Probably that sequence, yeah. But it depends whether I like bananas. If that sequence ended in eating raw potatoes, I might have stopped somewhere before. I said, well, I'd rather play a harmonica than eat raw potatoes.
We've done a nice musical.
Do you have is there any kind of advice you would have for someone going to listen to you? If someone's going to get into the situation where they've got to pay, $3-4, whatever it is, and go in and sit, where it's almost a classroom situation. Except that
it is, but how else are we going to have little musical meetings?
Well, would you be upset if someone brought in their instrument and the audience and was playing? I mean, in a way they are, but by your definition, they're playing anyhow because they're there, and that's part of their making music.
I would wonder why they didn't just play before they got there. I would wonder why they didn't play all the way in the door and continue and never stop. Because when I go down to play to a designated area like that, I've been playing before I got there, I play while I'm there, and I play after I get out of there.
Mm-hmm. Do you do encores when you perform?
Encores?
Yeah. After you leave the
course,
after a set is I just know though I'm going to become trapped in whatever question I ask you.
Well, every time we ask a question, we're trapping ourselves.
Into expecting an answer.
Yeah. we get used to desserts, like sugar and whatnot, and
Okay, well, there comes a point during your performance when you perform out of sight of the audience, out of physical line of sight of the audience. Do you return to that line of sight?
Well,
I know you didn't do what is classically called an encore.
Well, they wouldn't let us because you see, there was a group there with us.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And the group that was there with us had to go on next.
Oh, I see.
You see, it would be unfair due to the fact of those circumstances if I took the whole show.
Yeah.
You say.
Oh, okay.
If you ever come up here, I'll do an encore all night today, like I'm trying to right now.
Yeah. So.
I went out in the back and talked to a lot of people after I got through playing on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
We were having a great time. There were a few kids out there who were talking about porpoises and whales and nasturtiums and all of those things.
Do you enjoy that kind of playing?
Equally as much.
Equally as much.
Sure.
Just because of
human voice. What's on top of that?
Telephone.
That's right, Jeff, my manager. Hello? Yeah. Sure. Fine. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye. All right, now.
Well, I'd ask you if there's some kind of advice or hint that you might want to give someone who's coming to see you, someone that hasn't heard you before, or someone that may have heard your records and not seen you in person.
it would be nice if they could come in without any attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Or latitude or longitude.
Or altitude. Or
or altitude.
Okay.
Because to ingest something to get high is to say that you're not eating right.
Okay. Because otherwise you would be at whatever place you wanted to be.
Sure. I don't think it's nice to ingest something. It gets you dependent, right? And then you run into the same problem I have with cigarettes. I'm dependent upon cigarettes, which is ridiculous because I'm really not.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm playing, I don't even smoke.
That must mean you're not playing now.
No,
I'm sorry for trying to trap
you. But you realize that it is difficult to talk into a microphone because that's going to end. You say, what we're saying is going to end on this tape. With us, it won't end.
Okay.
But you can't very well go out and, unless you get in a group or something, you can't very well go out and say what you thought about this or what you think. You have to say it through paper, right? Through the written word of publication it goes out.
Right.
So all we can do is get as nice a feeling as possible, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Are there other people around that are playing that who's playing you? I mean, people that are public players, perhaps, like Andy Warhol or John
Andy
Cage.
Warhol soup things up.
But do you think he's as do you think he's better off doing soup than doing Mother?
Mother?
I mean, maybe his soup was getting away from Mother, and there wasn't. His soup can wasn't a lullaby in a way. In fact, it was making fun of a lullaby.
Yeah, but why did it make fun of it? Why did you just eat the soup?
Okay, how? There must be some people's playing that you enjoy. I mean, okay, everyone's playing and everyone is hopefully playing.
I enjoyed John Coltrane because I think that he had an extreme respect for himself, and he wasn't selfish with himself. I mean, with other people. He was willing to stand there and open up. Or to have been opened up before he went there. And allow people to walk in his nose and out his ears and up his and out his thing. And I think that's really nice. He didn't have any shadow deeds. He had no fear of having light thrown on him or throwing light out of him.
Right.
He was a lighthouse man. Which is beautiful.
Okay.
Banjo. No, I like that.
How about someone that I've always thought of that way, like Woody Guthrie?
Really nice, man. Really.
Okay.
Very beautiful. Yeah.
Because they're
really
sharing.
Love the dust.
Because they are sharing.
Spreading seeds and pollinating and everything right before your eyes, ears, and nose and everything. Breathing with all of his holes open. Refused to train himself.
Right.
Woody Guthrie. I don't know about his son.
Well, I've always thought that it's an imitation.
Well, I just...
he's gotten better. That's my way of thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's hard to follow somebody like Woody Guthrie if you're trying to be like Woody Guthrie.
Yeah.
I think Dylan's stuff he's doing now is more enjoyable. I've heard a couple of things. I'll Be Your Baby Tonight. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that.
But isn't
tremendously. I heard that and I enjoyed it.
No, isn't that the lullaby?
I don't know. I think that he was really doing what he really felt before. I feel that he was trying to shed all of the eyes that he'd looked through. Down a keyhole down on your knees and stuff like that. I think that he was referring to the fact that he'd read a lot was trying to release and become who he really was.
Right.
Although he was really who he was at the time.
Well, what about people that spend all this time looking for themselves and find out that there wasn't anything worth finding, or find out that
how can that be?
Oh well, okay, not that there wasn't anything worth finding, but they come out with Moon and June and Spoon and Lullaby. I mean, these people wrote lullabies.
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't because of their training. Maybe that's the way they were.
Well, if that's so, then I think it's a better lullaby than a trained lullaby.
Okay, but still a lullaby.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, there are millions of people in the country that read Rob McEwen.
Well, that's fine. I could care less.
Uh-huh.
I picked up one of his books and I didn't enjoy it at all.
Yeah, well, I think he writes lullabies.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I can't.
For instance, someone like Allen Ginsberg, there's another person
that he put his problem on a lot of people, and I don't think he had a problem in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of us have a problem, unless we want to have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Right.
Like Dylan Thomas wrote us, whatever you want to call it, do not...
good gentlemen and a good night.
Yes, that's, I think, very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I think very positive.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I've never read, really, you see, though. People have recited these things to me and things like that. I've never read.
Mm-hmm.
I was writing poetry, and I didn't even know it. Like, I have around 12,000 poems, and 5 or 6, 7 books, a lot of plays and things. But I didn't know this until a person named Tom Lopez came over to my house. He's from Philadelphia. He calls himself Meatball Fulton. He's a disc jockey in Philadelphia. Now he has a advertising company named Zero Bullshit. And he's a nice fellow. But he came over and found these poems and went crazy and wanted me to put out a book. I wasn't going to do anything with them. I had just written things down, enjoying myself. And he thinks that I should put them out.
Yeah.
I hope that when I do put them out, because I am going to put them out, I hope that people don't take them seriously. Because they're not to be taken seriously.
That's,
they're just there. If they want to read them, it doesn't mean anything.
Well, in a way, you're talking about your music, too.
Sure.
Yeah.
It means absolutely nothing. Just like the sun.
Then looking for meaning then might just be a hang-up.
I think so.
Okay.
I do. Yeah, I think so. It makes it too high-pressured, too pointed, too much interest and investment on one point. Like, I was flying over the Mississippi River and the plane coming back from Philadelphia, and the pilot all of a sudden came over the intercom and he said, "And this is the Mississippi River." And it looked to me like a beautiful mirror snake, going across a puzzle. And the river looks so much more beautiful than the checkered off designated land. But when he told me that was the Mississippi River with all that importance, I thought,
You blew it.
Are you kidding? That's a mirror snake. It's a snake going across a puzzle. From up there, down there, it's a drink of water and cooling your feet, maybe wading or...
Yeah, you haven't seen the Mississippi recently.
I haven't.
No, I saw it a few years ago, and it's mud and dirt and oil. And,
that's a shame, man.
Anywhere, south of mid-country it is. Yeah.
I wrote a tune called Petrified Forest. Have you heard that?
No.
On McNally Tells Off Baby, and
Well, then I have heard it, but I don't remember it.
And I said in the poem, I said, no flower shall grow or oil shall flow, no seed shall sow in salt water.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that applies to the Mississippi River.
Mm-hmm. Just one last kind of thing. What do you see as any kind of future for instance,
if you're talking like that, one last kind of thing, I don't see any future.
Okay. Well, not for you or for me, for the interview. What do you see as a future?
I enjoyed it. Did you?
Yeah.
Well, then I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay. What I meant was, at the moment, everyone is screaming about pollution and ecology, and the world is continually getting more and more fucked.
The only thing that I think that could be done at this point, and they made the point, and they gouged the blue eye out of the sky with oil and whatnot. The only thing that I can say is to, in the Queen's English, on paper, in English, write in to these various places and ask them for an audience. Tell them that you don't want your eye to be, inflamed and whatnot. I'd like to talk to you about that. Hello? We were talking about pollution. I think due to the fact that there is a fact, the sky is all polluted, and they're beginning to go do the ocean up too, and all of this taking and not putting back. I think that the thing to do is have everyone, if they would like to do it, it's up to them. I think everyone should write into these companies, man. Sit down for an hour a day if they can spare the time, instead of sitting there and looking at the sky and going, oh man, it's really a drag, and hey, everybody's getting it together, and actually write into this form that there is. You see, there is a form, the English language, everybody uses it. So why don't they use it for that purpose? Why don't they write in whatever you want to call it, square talk, because that's actually what it is. It does have a point and an ending and a beginning and all this.
Right.
So why don't they use that and write into all of these people? This is what I'm doing when I did that album. That's why I did the words. Hold a drinking glass up to your eye after you scooped up a little of the sky, and it ain't blue no more. Space age couple, flex your magic muscle. Write down the complaint and send it in through those channels.
Yeah.
You see? They can't ignore all of that.
Hopefully they can.
Well, I don't see how they could.
Yeah.
Do you? I'm sure they don't want to choke to death either. I think it's like I think it's just gotten over their heads. Like the smog is over their heads, and it's just gotten over their heads, and maybe they don't know what to do. Suggestions, Ecology. Ecology doesn't consist of running out in the street and saying, hey man, it's organic, like that. What good is that going to do? Why don't they write in? This is just an idea. I don't know any solution myself other than eating good food, breathing good.
Well, I have
getting rid of bad habits like smoking, which I've got to do.
I have a friend who has decided that things like the Bank of America and the federal government are too far gone. But she wants to get to the root of things and start blowing up McDonald's hamburgers. Because something like that is what really gets to the country. Do you think that any kind of direct action is any better than writing in? Do you think that it's going to...
I think writing in is the only way, because I don't think it's... who would want to blow something up like that? That's awfully sexy.
What is it?
I mean, to
blow things up?
Yeah. Who wants to? Why not try to do it without violence?
Mm-hmm.
Why is everybody so quick to shoot? And
well, there are people that want to do in cars, rip off a car a day.
Oh man!
You know, kind of.
Oh, until theirs is ripped off.
Probably.
To walk across town.
Mm-hmm.
Although I haven't driven for the last 5 years myself.
Oh.
I've had to go to places like I've had to go in some kind of vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that they would get electric cars.
Yeah.
But I think that if everybody wrote in, you know, like even in school, if they'd write about that, I think that's the main problem.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody feels very good when they see all these limits. You know, like you can't see through that smog to the stars and the sun or anything. It's just not right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like a veil, a shadowed veil. I think it's caused by guilt, don't you? Must be guilt. If it wasn't guilt, they'd do something about it. They'd clean it up if it wasn't guilt. Because nobody wants to stand there and
admit that they've done that.
That they made a mistake.
Oh, I see. That kind of guilt.
Yeah. Admit that all they can eat is what they can hold in their hand.
Mm-hmm. One other thing that I want to know for the point of an article is you're going on tour where you're going to be appearing. If someone might be interested.
I think we're going to be appearing all over the United States: Boston, Philadelphia, Chicago, New York, Cleveland.
Is Warner Brothers is probably giving you better publicity than you've had in the past? I would imagine.
Much better.
Yeah.
Have a film coming out on television.
Spot. Hal, what's his name? Halverstad or whatever.
Hal Halverstad.
Yeah, told me that he wanted to when I spoke to you yesterday on the phone, he wanted to take me over to see it, but somehow it was going to be too much. Warner Brothers is tied up in their thing, so it was going to be too much trouble to find some place to do it. Yeah, he said that it was a good spot.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing it. A fellow named Larry Secrets and I shot it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Larry's very good. Nice man, trying to help the environment and whatnot. I can recommend a book. Probably the only book I would recommend is by John Pierre Hawley, and it's called Animal Kitabu in Congo Kitabu.
Uh-huh.
He's trying to help the animals in Africa, the people, help them not exhaust their natural wealth.
Well, I suppose it's going to be one of the great advantages soon to be an underdeveloped country and try and keep yourself that way.
Well, there's definitely going to have to be some generous thinking.
Well,
Yoko Ono and John Lennon had a peace movement going.
Right.
I think this was around a year and a half ago.
They had their own.
It was right when I put out Proud Mass Replica, my third album. I heard about it. I saw something on television. I thought it was wonderful. Peace without bloodletting. I sent a telegram directly to Derek Taylor, who was with Apple, who's a very good friend of John Lennon's and Paul McCartney's and everyone in the Beatles. I sent a telegram saying that myself, as well as my group, who agreed to it, would render any service we could towards that movement, free of charge.
Right.
And I didn't receive anything back.
No answer.
And they know who Captain Beefheart is in the Magic Band. Because I talked with McCartney, and he had a lot of my Safe as Milk stickers years ago pasted all over his walls and everything. And I received nothing back. So what am I supposed to think about that? Because and then I called as well, and I was put off all the way around. And I'm sure they could have used me because I was really serious.
Well, seems to me he's just saying, well, some of the lines are, he's been through the whole thing, and the chorus line is, don't give me that brother, your brother. The song called I Found Out.
You found out.
Yeah. And how a lot of people...
Why did he use it? I wonder why he didn't Well, we put that in the paper. At the time, I was thinking about the fact that I had a beef going with the world. I had a beef in my heart, they say. And the captain, the Captain Beefheart.
People store
meant that I was at sort of, I hadn't come to terms with myself. And then again, I was, it's really good.
Well, it seems like you kind of come to terms with it.
Yeah.
You think you're changing the name?
Not really, because I don't think the name really matters that much. The name is like a social security card. Which doesn't matter very much. I doubt about retirement.
Okay. Okay, well, thanks again. Yeah, I hope it comes out. Yeah, that's all right. Good sleep some other time.